Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. In this video, we have got my review of the match that just took place between the Blues and the Highlanders at Eden Park. You can see here, that the score was 39 to the Blues, 17 to the Highlanders. The Blues received the bonus point for this one, and that puts them in second place. And the match next week between the Crusaders and the Blues just got a whole lot more interesting because whoever wins that could be sitting top of the table. Yeah, I will run through all of the events that happened in this match. I hope you are all doing well once again. We've got a few people who were tuning in for the live stream have also come over for this one. We have got Johnny Blaze in the chat. We have also got Henry Samuel as well. And we have got, we've got Let's Go Hamish from Henry Samuel. But nonetheless, I will move on to the events that did happen in this match. Straight away, it was the Blues who started this match well. It was the try in the 9th minute for Aotearoa Black. And yeah, that try was very well put together by the Blues. Good backline movement. Went to Rico Ioane, who I thought should have possibly passed it to Plummer on the outside, but he did take the contact, then found the offload on the inside to Aotearoa Black. Very well set up try, and it did get the Blues underway in this one. Early points on the board for them did look like it was going to be key in this one. At some stage early on in the match, also, the Highlanders were able to take 3 points. And then from there, Caleb Clark in the 17th minute was able to score the next try. The backline of the Blues just looked phenomenal in terms of their passing ability and also the vision of Aotearoa Black to use the cross kicks, to use the long balls as well. It was just working out very nicely for them. We have also got Henry Samuel in the chat and Select in the chat, and then Liam as well. He went out to go to McDonald's, so you are a lucky man, Liam. But yeah, eyebrows Ryan as well, and we have got Henry Samuel. I'll be happy if the Canes win against the Chiefs. Yeah, that is the other match next week. We have got the Chiefs versus the Hurricanes, and then also the Blues versus the Crusaders. Two big matches in the whole scheme of the Super Rugby Aotearoa competition. It is the two teams that haven't lost versus, and then two teams that haven't won. So we're in a very interesting situation there. Kyle has said hi as well. But then from that try of, it was Caleb Clark in the end, there was almost a try between the Ioane brothers. I said they would be dangerous, those two. And it was Akira Ioane flying down the wing and then fired the big ball on the inside. They did decide in the end that it had traveled forward, though. Rico Ioane, the job wasn't done at the time he got that ball. He had to do a lot when he did have it. He did a couple steps, and then he just outran the fullback, I believe it was. But then it did go back, and they did say that it had gone forward. So because of that, it was called a no try. That was a big chance for the Blues, and they were looking early like they were going for this bonus point from the get-go. They were turning down 3 points for the chance of being able to turn it into 5 and 7. Aotearoa Black, good day with the boot as well. Very impressive from him. Then in the 39th minute was the next big event of the match, although I should mention with that try of Akira Ioane, another event that happened at that time, the injury of Jonah Nariki. It is still unknown to what extent his injury is, but hopefully we will be able to find that out very soon. But Jonah Nariki was able to score 3 against the Chiefs in the last match. And the fact that he did get injured in this one, hopefully it's not for too long because he is a very talented player. He had an average of 130-something meters, I believe it was, leading into this match. But yeah, he ended up, I believe it was lower back or somewhere like that. So that is not good news for them. But hopefully he will be back and ready to go after the bye. And then they will be facing the Hurricanes. And then, yeah, 39th minute yellow card was to Josh Dixon for taking Caleb Clark out in the ear. He took Caleb Clark out. So because of that, it was a yellow card. And that put the Highlanders under pressure right at the end of that first half. And in the end, they did go into halftime. It was 17 to the Blues, 3 to the Highlanders. So they had 14 points to make up. But the Highlanders, they hadn't given up at that stage. You could see that they were still going to try and win that match from there. But the early try, Moni Narawa, he had only been on the field for a couple minutes. He came on the field at halftime for Mark Talia. He scores the try in the 42nd, making himself possibly a big prospect for playing on the wing in the next match. Mark Talia, he was very quiet for this match, I felt. He had a couple runs. Not sure what made him come off at halftime, whether that was a decision of an injury or whether it was just what they decided they would do. But Narawa, good try in the 42nd. And that was while the Highlanders still only had 14 men on the field. They had about 18 penalties against them in this match, the Highlanders, which is just too many. Unfortunately, you know that the refs are going to be pulling up a lot in the Super Rugby Aotearoa competitions. Refs are trash this year, says Henry Samuel as well. And we have got Bring on the Crusaders, says the Snooze. yeah, it is going to be a very good match between the Blues and the Crusaders, that is for sure. See you later, Hamish. I want to watch the Crusaders versus Chiefs game. No worry, mate. Thank you very much for tuning in. But yeah, the penalties against the Highlanders, we should talk about the scrum for a moment. 964 kgs was the Blues 4-pack compared to about the 890 of the Highlanders. That is a huge difference for a 4-pack. Papali'i, it was mentioned in the chat, he was coming in at 114 kgs for this one. So they were a solid unit of a scrum, and because of it, it was unfortunate that the Highlanders were just getting punished at scrum time. Anytime they dropped the ball, even if the Blues dropped the ball, it still meant that more than likely the Blues were going to almost be able to get that ball back after the scrum. They did win a couple scrum penalties against the feed as well, which is very impressive from them. We have got Ryan has said the forward pass was wrong. Yeah, it did go backwards, or he did look like he wanted to throw it backwards at Kiriwani, but they are saying that it drifted forward as it was in the air, and that is the call that they went with. It was similar to the Severeese try or Severeese pass in the last match. It's our year, says Mike Jones Sr. as well, wanting the Blues to be able to beat the Crusaders next week. Maybe they will be able to do it. Look sharp to you, although something that is worth noting is the fact that Dalton Papali'i did end up getting injured. He had a head knock. It was actually his own player, a bit of friendly fire. I believe it was Harry Plummer's face that caused Dalton Papali'i to fail the HIA. But then Robinson came on the field and he came out with some physicality as well. And he had a bit of zinc on his face as well, which we were saying was almost a first that we have seen for a rugby player. But he came out there on a mission, and he did make quite a few tackles and whatnot while he was on the field. But Dalton Papali'i, I assume if he has got the concussion, he will be missing the next week, which is huge for the match against the Crusaders. He made, I would say, the most tackles for the Blues. I haven't looked at the stats yet, but I would say he's right up there. Another man who was right up there for tackles, surely, is Shannon Frizzell. Looked like he did have a rib injury at one stage from taking a kind of side shot from Hoskins Satutu, which did actually get brought right back for the penalty for. And yeah, but he did continue the match, continued trying to score the try. And yeah, it was very impressive from him in the end. But yeah, the next try came, I believe it would have been in the 53rd minute. We need to mention Ash Dixon. He came on the field, and in the past two encounters between the Blues and the Highlanders, they have both scored, or he has scored in both matches. And then not only that, he managed to score again off the rolling maul. Ash Dixon looking like that is the move that he is going to be going to plenty of times throughout this competition. Scored in the 53rd minute, and that gave the Highlanders just that little bit of momentum that looked like they might have been able to get back into this one. And then from there, though, straight away, Akira Ioane scores the try. It was Imoni Narawa who set that one up as well. Harry Plummer was very impressive from him because he did get tackled about 5 meters from the line. Falau Fakatava was going in to try and steal that ball. And then from there, Harry Plummer kind of noticed that and then did the pass off his back to Akira Ioane a couple meters out. They weren't going to be stopping him. Oh, I should actually mention I missed a try, and it was the rolling maul try in the 49th minute for Auckland. Another rolling maul try that a forward has been able to score. So at the moment, the forwards are still trying to keep up with the backs in terms of who is scoring more tries. I believe the forwards, or maybe after the backs in this round, maybe the forwards are sitting about 2 tries behind in the overall scheme of things. I believe it will be something like 30 tries to the backs and maybe about 28 to the forwards or something like that. But it is impressive with how many forwards are scoring these tries. Then the next try, it came in the 71st minute, just after the yellow card of Sam Nock. They said he wasn't supporting his body weight. He did steal the ball on the breakdown, so he was yellow carded in the 70th, which meant he was missing the rest of the match. So that was a big hit for the Blues. And I feel like if he was still out there at the end of the game, maybe they could have looked at getting one more try before the end of it. But yeah, Falau Fakatava looking dangerous in that number 9 jersey. Aaron Smith was taken off the field. Fakatava replaced him. And yeah, he is just looking strong. It was a rolling maul once again, but instead of Ash Dixon off the back, Fakatava backed himself on the blind side, ran around the side, found the gap and scored the try. And he is going to be an impressive prospect for the Highlanders this season already. And then I believe that was all of the tries in this match. If I'm not wrong, we had 2 yellow cards. We had a try that was disallowed, and we also had the Gordon Hunter Memorial Trophy staying with the Blues for another year. They did win it last year, and they have retained it. The years before that, I believe it was about 5 in a row that the Highlanders had it. So they have done very well there, the Blues. Maybe like Mike Jones Sr. said in the chat, maybe it is their year. The Blues, we will have to wait and see after the match between the Crusaders and the Blues next week. Should be a very interesting one, that is for sure. But nonetheless, I will bring up some stats so that we can talk a little bit more about the game. But do let me know in the chat what you guys thought of the match. Do you think that that was the result, or did you see the result happening? That was this one, 39-17. And something I realized as I was writing down the full-time score is the fact that it's the exact same score as the last match of round 3, which was the Crusaders versus the Chiefs. That was also 39-17. So these teams very even this week in terms of a team losing, having 17 points, and the winner having 39, both receiving the bonus point as well. That bonus point will be huge for the Blues in trying to keep up with the Crusaders, who are looking dominant as always throughout this season, but they are going to be playing off in the next round, which is very exciting. We will have a quick look at some match stats as well. Meters carried, 100 extra meters for the Blues. Carries pretty even. Beaten defenders was actually in the Highlanders' favour. Clean breaks went to the Crusaders the Blues with 9, and offloads 8 apiece. Turnovers conceded was 11 for the Highlanders, 9 for the Blues. Overall, tackles 80 for the Highlanders, 70 for the Blues, and more missed tackles for the Blues. This match was pretty even on paper. It was just the fact that the Blues were able to take the chances that they did get, and the penalties were kind of adding up against the Highlanders, which I will see in a short moment as well. Discipline, 16 penalties conceded for the Highlanders there, and a lot of those were probably to do with the scrum and the breakdown. So it was very unfortunate for them there, and there were 11 against the Blues. But yeah, the Blues look good. I have to say, they had a good win against the Hurricanes. They had another good win against the Highlanders here. Will they have a good win against the Crusaders? That's the one that I'm excited for. Running meters throughout this match. Rieko Ioane is the top of the top. He had 82. Of course, these numbers straight after the game may not be completely accurate. They will get a little bit more accurate a little bit later on when they do start updating it a little bit more. But yeah, Rieko Ioane having the most with 82 meters from 7 carries. Almost had that try, but it was disallowed. Caleb Clark on 43 meters scoring his try. And then also Akira Ioane, 56 meters. And he did get the try as well from 9 carries as well. Defenders beaten 2. That is impressive. Harry Plummer, he did have 20 meters, 3 carries, and 3 defenders beaten. So he did decently in that number. He was in the number 12 jersey for this match. Amoni Narawa, 30 meters gained from 3 carries as well. And then for the Highlanders, there's no real big numbers yet. Connor Garden-Bishop had 39 meters. That is the highest. Lynchies, I'm not sure what happened to him. He had 26 meters in 1 carry. And then he went off, I believe, at halftime for Harmon. So I know he was just back from an injury, 380 days since his last match. So maybe they were just easing him into it. They don't want to have him injured, that is for sure. But Ash Dixon, he was able to get the try, and Folau Whakatava, he only had 2 carries, and he did end up getting 9 meters from it. And one of those was a try. The leading tackler for the Blues, I said it earlier on, it had to be Dalton Papali'i, 11. Last time these two teams played off, he actually had a few more than that, I think, if I'm not wrong. No, maybe not. So yeah, it's done well there. Dalton Papali'i able to score able to make 11 tackles there. And then quite a few players had 6. We had Harry Plummer, Akira Ioane, Dari, and Tuanuki Afi, and also Amoni Narawa making 6 tackles, even though he only just came on the field at the end of the match. So that was very impressive from him as well. And then for the Highlanders, I said it as well, Shannon Frizzell, he was busy, 11 tackles. And tell you what, Lynchies, he had 8 tackles in that first half. He was impressive for the short amount of time that he was on the field. Turnovers won in this situation. There were quite a few turnovers won for both sides. 6 tackles for Connor Garden-Bishop. He was in the number 15 jersey, but I think they may have almost had a wee reshuffle, if I'm not wrong, unless maybe Mitch Hunt went into the number 12 jersey and everyone else kind of pushed back one. Might have been what they did. But yeah, Teddy Black, decent with his kicking. He was able to get, I believe, 6 from 7, I think, were the stats for him. And Josh Ioane was sitting at a decent amount as well. But yeah, we have also got Ryan has said looking forward to next week, and I was expecting the same result for this round. Said Ryan as well. Yeah, the next result, that's gonna shape the whole competition. Chiefs versus Hurricanes. That's gonna be one of those sides is going to be sitting in last place, and then the other match, the one that everyone's waiting for. I wish it was on a nighttime game, 7:05 p.m., so that some people from other countries could also tune in for the game live. But it's going to be the Blues versus the Crusaders, 3:35 p.m. It is going to be on Sunday at Eden Park. Going to be a very good match, that is for sure. I just hope that the alert levels stay where they are at the moment, because we have had the situation in the past. The game of round 9 of last year, it did get cancelled between the Blues and the Crusaders. Hopefully this one won't be the same. And yeah, hopefully we can get to see that game, because that is going to be an absolute cracker. But for anyone who is just tuning in now, I will quickly run through the try scorers for you guys. First try for Atiri Black in the 9th minute. He was able to score it from an offload from Akira Ioane. Next try was Caleb Clark, and he was able to score it on the wing as well. Then the next try was for I believe the next one would have been in the 42nd minute for Imoni Narawa. And then that was because of the no try earlier on for Rieko Ioane. It was in the 33rd minute, but it was a forward pass from Akira. The Ioane brothers almost linking up. Same score as yesterday, bro. Difference is the Blues didn't need the officials, says Joe, bro. Yeah, the Blues play well. I don't know how to respond to that without offending a lot of Crusader supporters. But, yeah, the Blues, they did look sharp in this one. And the big difference, I think as well, the forward pack of the Blues, 964 kgs. Like, that is an absolutely huge forward pack. And they did use that weight to their advantage. They were winning the scrum penalties. They were winning the lineouts as well with the rolling maul. And they were looking impressive. The yellow card of Josh Dixon happened in the 4th minute. In the 39th minute. So he was out for the first start of the second half. But at halftime, it was 17 to the Blues, 3 to the Highlanders. And then from there, also in the first half, an injury to Jonah Nareki, big one there that they wouldn't have been wanting, the Highlanders. And hopefully he will be good and ready to go for the match against the Hurricanes in round 5. And then from there, we also had the try of Kirk Eklund in the 49th minute from a rolling maul. He was only on the field for about 2 minutes. That seemed to be a bit of a trend. It was Imoni Narawa scored in the first 2 minutes that he was on the field, and Kirk Eklund, he did the same. He did replace Tolai, and he was able to score the try off the rolling maul. And he is looking impressive so far, Eklund as well, scoring in the number 2 jersey, which seems to be quite common, because in the next try of the match, it was Ash Dixon who was able to make he was able to get the try off the driving maul as well, or the rolling maul. 53rd minute that one was. And then we also look at the next try of the match. Did take a little bit longer for the next one, but then it was Akira Ioane. Harry Plummer from his back offloads it up to Akira Ioane off a run from Imoni Narawa. He looked sharp for the short amount of time that he was on the field for that second half. He didn't get the full match. Mark Talia did start in that number 14 jersey, and it was Akira Ioane who was able to finish that one. And then the yellow card of Sam Knock happened in the 70th minute. That was because he did not support his body weight in the breakdown. And then from there, he did get the yellow card. And then from there, Fakatava in the rolling maul was able to score the try once again for the Highlanders. So 2 tries set up from rolling mauls for the Highlanders in this one. And tell you what, it was looking good for them. Hopefully they will be able to use that against the Hurricanes as well. And at least I should also mention, if you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button and also leave a like on the live stream. If you were to make contact with the Crusaders player, red card, 50-year-old death sentence sued by the organisation as well, says Mike Jones Sr. It's going to be interesting, the officiating between the Blues and the Crusaders. Hopefully it will be all right. But something else that wasn't all right in this match, Dalton Papali'i, he did end up with an HIA test because he did get some friendly fire from Harry Plummer. He did smack his face on his nose. So, yeah, Hoskins Dalton Papali'i actually ended up getting an HIA and failing it. So that will mean more than likely he will miss the next match against the Crusaders. And I feel like that's something that the Blues really wouldn't have been wanting, because Dalton Papali'i made the most tackles for the Blues in this one. He could have been a key in that match against the Crusaders. Maybe he will be all right, though. But I feel like if you fail an HIA, you are not getting to play the next couple of weeks. That is for sure. Ethan Blackadder won't be back for the Crusaders for that same reason, I believe. But yeah, at the moment, the point standing, if I'm not wrong, it will be sitting 14 for the Crusaders in first. 3 games, won them all. Then the Blues in second, 9 points. 2 games, won them all. And then we have got the Highlanders in third, played 3-1-1. But they did get the bonus point in that match. And the Chiefs and the Hurricanes, unfortunately, not sitting on any points at the moment. But we should mention that the bonus point did go to the Blues in this one. So it was almost an identical game for score and bonus point-wise in terms of the match that happened yesterday between the Crusaders and the Chiefs as well. But the next week's matches, for anyone tuning in now, it is going to be on Saturday night. It is going to be the Hurricanes versus the Chiefs. That should be a very good match to watch. And then on Sunday afternoon, 3:35 p.m. kickoff, it is going to be the Blues versus the Crusaders. That is a huge match in terms of the Super Rugby Aotearoa competition. I am extremely hyped for that one, and I feel like, it's going to shape the competition. I've just realized Kieran will be getting sunburn in the background. The sun's right in his eyes. Poor fellow in the back line. Just got back. Blues looking good. Any drama? I think you saw the no try for the forward pass, which I think in the end they decided, was a no try. Dalton Papali'i got injured. I'm not sure whether you saw that, Bigates, in the second half. He had to have an HIA from friendly fire of Harry Plummer. He failed it, which means more than likely he won't be back for the match against the Crusaders next week. Also, Fakatava scored the try for the Highlanders in the second half. Ash Dixon rolling maul try as well. And then in the second half for the Blues, rolling maul try for Auckland. Akira Ioane scored, and also Amoni Narawa scoring in the first 2 minutes of himself being on the field. And I believe that is all of the injuries and tries in the second half. Also, yellow card in the second half it was Sam Nock for going off his feet. They decided that it was yellow card material, so he ended up going off the field for the last 10 minutes of the match, which then almost led the Highlanders to fighting back a little bit with Fakatava scoring the try straight after. But nonetheless, I think I am almost at the end of this review of the match. We have got Henry Samuel, who is back. But I did enjoy it. I have to say, getting up early for the Six Nations game, England versus France, probably wasn't the best idea because I was a little bit tired for this one. But hopefully you guys did still enjoy the live stream, and we will be back and we will be re-energized for next week. What a try to the Crusaders in the corner. That would have been the try of Lester Fainaanuku, and it was a very impressive one from that man. Nonetheless, we are pretty much finished with this review. I will wait and see if you guys want to say anything else as well in the chat. But just going through the team quickly. Pera Feta, I feel he had a decent game. He was taking the catches quite well. And then Rieko Ioane, he did drop the ball about 3 times in that first half, like on the trot, which made it a little bit concerning, but he did regain his composure and he did have a good second half as well. Harry Plummer, I feel, played well, definitely with that offload from his back to give it to Akira Ioane to score. Caleb Clark, good game on the wing, looking stronger. Terry Black, looking like he is owning that number 10 jersey at the moment for the Blues. He is absolutely loving it, and he does look like he is going to be having a decent season. And we have also got Jonathan Ruru, decent game overall. Sam Nock, he did look not too bad. He did win a turnover, I think, for his side before the yellow card, if I'm not wrong, or maybe that was the yellow card. Hoskins Tututu had his moments, didn't really get a chance off the back of the ruck, or off the back of the scrum, which I thought they may have tried to go to a little bit more, but they did love using the backs there, the Blues, and it was working out for them. But giving away that penalty for Shannon Frizzell, taking him out off the ball was a little bit silly, I have to say. Akira Ioane, good game. Dalton Papali'i, great game, up until he did end up getting that HIA, the most tackles for the Blues. Sam Derry, he was on debut, but he did look good, the 20-year-old, and I feel like he has got a bright future for the Blues there. Tui Pelotu, good game as always. Tuanga Fasi, putting in a shift, putting in some big hits. One hit on Ethan de Groot was very solid, almost forced him back into his in goal. Then also Tolai had a decent game, dropped the ball a couple times, and the line out didn't quite go his way, but overall, decent overall. And Karl Tuinuki-Afi, good game for that man as well. And that's the thing with the strength off the bench for the Blues. Like, you rattle off the bench, and they could easily all be starting. The likes of Nepo Lulalik, Auckland, James Lay, like Tom Robinson, Kelly Tuioti, and all of those ones. It's very hard to be able to beat the Blues bench, but then maybe someone who might be able to match it is the Crusaders. And we have got next is the final financial dollars game, says Henry Samuel, although we might be having a Be a Pro episode tomorrow, depending on how things go. But it might be financial takeover is the next video on the channel. We have also got, I'm heading back to NZ 23rd. I'll try not to bring the COVID with me, says Big Eights as well. And then Henry asked why you are coming back. And then you said, I'm a Kiwi, bro. And then we have got Remy back as well. Welcome back, mate. And then for the Highlanders, Connor Garner-Bishop, decent game. Had a few running meters. Did do decently in that number 15 jersey. Then we had Punavai on that right wing. He was all right as well overall. Michael Collins looked like he was trying to set a few things up. Just didn't quite work out for them. In the end, the Highlanders to be able to score enough. Theo Tompkinson, he was taking a lot of big contact from those large Blues forwards. Jonah Nareki, he looked decent up until he got injured. That injury really kind of changed the game for the Highlanders in a way, because he wasn't going to be able to put on that performance that he did up against the Chiefs. Josh Ioane good in the number 10 jersey. We got a few good number 10s lurking around New Zealand rugby at the moment, which is good to see. Fakatava, he had a decent game off the bench. And also Aaron Smith, he was probably a little bit more quiet than he would have liked to be in that first half. But, yeah, it is slightly unfortunate for him. Hugh Renton, he had an all right game. And then Lynchie's also had an all right game he had a pretty good game, Lynchie's, up until he went off the field. Frizzell, good game, most tackles, also trying to make his way to the try line, not quite able to though. And then we had Selby Rickett had a decent game. Josh Dixon went all right. Then he got that yellow card, which kind of changed the momentum in the game a little bit for the Highlanders, and that is what caused the try over Auckland in a way, because they were down to only 14 men. Then Tokolai, decent. Coltman was decent as well, and DeGroot, although you have to say for that 4-pack, they had a hard day in front of them. 964 kgs pack of the Blues. 70 kg advantage for the Blues. Like, that is impressive from the Blues, that is for sure. And that's going to be tough. I'm excited for that scrum against the Crusaders, because they have a big 4-pack, a big strong 4-pack as well. And with those two teams clashing, tell you what, she's going to be fireworks next Sunday afternoon, that is for sure. And then off the bench, Ash Dixon, good game. Honick was getting fired up about a lot. And Muck Alley too, good run down the wing. Mitch Hunt had to come on the field earlier than expected because of the injury of Folau Fakatava, and Billy Harmon. He did do decent as well. Amoni Naroa will be one to look out for the Blues off that bench, and also Robinson in the future. But yeah, don't leave Play Cricket on DC's Henry Samuel. I think my voice would give out before I would be able to do that. So I think we are pretty much at the end of this review live stream. We're up to 26 minutes. I hope you guys did enjoy this one. If you did, be sure to leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. We will beat the Crusaders, says Mike Jones Sr. Maybe it is the Blues. Yeah, we will have to wait and see. And that's the thing. No matter what happens in that result, you know, it's still going to be the situation of those two sides. They get to play again, maybe twice more if they are the teams in the final. Who is your man of the match, says Joe Bro? Oh, tell you what. I want to, can I pick about 3? Is that all right, Joe Bro? Because I am struggling in terms of, I'd say Shannon Frizzell was up there. He just wasn't quite able to get the points on the board, but he did have a physical game. But Dalton Pavali, I feel, has got to be up there as well. Like, he was having a good game up until he got injured. Kiri Ioane, decent game. Rieko Ioane, you'd say, would have been up there if he hadn't dropped the ball about 3 or 4 times in that first half, but he was still looking good. So he's up there as well. I've got about 5, if that is all right. I just can't quite pick because I just love watching these two sides play. Terry Black, good game as well. So pretty much I've listed the whole of both sides in that man of the match situation. But defends if the Crusaders ref turns up, says Mike Jones Sr. Of course, it will be a home game to the Blues. So maybe that will be an advantage in their favour. Where do you live? Where in New Zealand do you live? I'm actually halfway in between the Highlanders and the Crusaders is the easiest way I describe it. So pretty much I should be supporting the Crusaders, but I'm pretty impartial when it comes to these New Zealand Super Rugby Aotearoa sides. Like, I just love watching them all play. And yeah, I don't really have a favourite because I just enjoy watching them all play that much. But yeah, nonetheless, I think that's almost the end of this review of the match. It was a very exciting one. Hope you have all enjoyed as well. I will quickly, hey, just joined, said Rugby Fair. Welcome to the live stream, mate. If you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. He lives close to the Crusaders and Highlanders, says Henry Samuel as well. I will quickly run through the tries for you guys who did just tune in, and then we will be wrapping up this live stream. So the tries were scored. First try, 9 minutes into the game, Teddy Black scored an offload from Rieko Ioane on the inside to Teddy Black, and he did score the try. Next try was scored by Caleb Clark in the 17th. He was looking sharp on that wing, and he did have the pace that he needed to be able to drive over the line without any contact being made as well. Very impressive from him. The next try was almost scored by Rieko Ioane. That was in the 33rd minute. A pass from Akira Ioane, who was running down the wing. He was close to getting that perfect pass to his brother Akira Ioane, Rieko Ioane, but they went back for the TMO, and it was forward. And then, yeah, that also, during that situation, Jonah Nareki has ended up getting injured, and we're not sure of the extent of that injury. it could be a interesting one. Hopefully he will be back for the match against the Hurricanes, but looked like a lower back or something like that, which is never good news for the flying winger from Fiji, who was looking sharp up until that moment. Next try came in the second half. But first, there was a yellow card to Josh Dixon in the first half, and the 39th minute was for taking Caleb Clark out in the air. And I should say the Blues, their fullback weighing 964 kgs, they were absolutely taking it to the fullback of the Highlanders in the scrums and whatnot. And Terry Black, he was turning down a lot of opportunities to kick the easy 3 points because the Blues, they were chasing one thing, and that was the bonus point, and they were able to get that. We have also got, and we are a Chiefs jersey respect, says Big Eights as well, in terms of being from the South Island wearing the Chiefs kit. It is because it got sent to me as well. It is a very nice looking kit. And we have also got Mike Jones Sr. has said hard status, could steamroll us. I feel like my thoughts on that match have kind of changed with the injury of Dalton Pavali, because he is just such a good player, Dalton Pavali, but the injury of him, the HIA failed test, means more than likely he will miss this next match. And that is a big shame, because he could have been a key in that Blues 4-pack to be able to beat the Crusaders, if they can beat the Crusaders, that is. Yeah, just subscribe, says Rugby Fiat as well. Thank you very much, mate. I do appreciate that. I live in Rotorua, says Mike Jones Sr., North Island rep, but I support the Blues as well. And he has got, hope you guys do too, says Rugby Fiat. And what does the Fox say, says Henry Samuel. But yeah, the next try was scored in the 42nd minute. Amoni Narawa only just came onto the field for Mark Talia, and he did score it. Looked sharp. The back line of the Blues was phenomenal throughout this match. Few early handling errors from Rieko Ioane, but that did change in the second half. They were using them nicely. And yeah, try to Amoni Narawa in the 42nd. Another man who just came on the field, Kirk Eklund. He ended up getting the try within about a minute of coming on the field from the rolling maul of the Blues. He was replacing Tole in that situation, and 49th minute try to the Blues. So at that stage, they had the bonus point well and truly. But then the Highlanders, they did fight back a little bit. Ash Dixon scored in the 53rd minute after only being on the field for a little bit. And then that made the match a little bit closer. At halftime, it was 17 to the Blues, 3 to the Highlanders. We have also got then the next try would have been scored by Akira Ioane in the 63rd. Offload from his back was Harry Plummer, and then he was able to put it up there for Akira Ioane to run on to. That was also from a Narawa, bit of a run down the wing. And we have also got, Dalton is a huge asset for us. He is indeed. Dalton Pavali, he had the most tackles, or tied most tackles in this match with Shannon Frizzell. And then, it is very unfortunate that he did end up getting injured in that one. Good spot. Rotorua must be quite quiet, but quiet tourist-wise. I'm Central Lad Telpo as well. And yep, says Mike Jones Sr., I should be supporting the Chiefs, but grew up watching the Blues and was a huge fan of their 2003 season. So that is why he does support them. Are they going to be able to win this season of Super Rugby Aotearoa against the Crusaders? That's a big question. I know I'm not supposed to do this, but check out my channel, says Rugby Fiat. I will try and remember that after the live stream, mate. But I do appreciate you tuning in nonetheless, and was a huge fan. I read that one. When will the Cricket 19 live stream be, Hamish? I think the last time you uploaded it, it was early this year in the school holidays. Yeah, that's the thing. We've gone straight into rugby season, so now we're in the situation of we may need another Kiwi Lads channel for other sports that aren't rugby and just other general videos. So that might be coming very soon, or that might take over the podcast channel. But yeah, the next try came in the 71st minute for Lau Fakatava, straight after the yellow card of Sam Knock for not supporting his body weight. He did get sent off the field, and then Folau Fakatava able to score it also off the rolling maul a little bit. Kiwi Lad live streams, says Henry Samuel as well. I don't know, maybe we will be looking at certain options for in the future, because that's the thing. We've got so many videos coming out at the moment, left, right, and center, that we probably do need to spread them out a little bit on a couple of channels. But the Gordon Hunter Memorial Trophy does go back in the hands of the Blues for another year. But yeah, that is the match. And very exciting one. Same score as the match between the Crusaders and the Chiefs. But nonetheless, I think that's almost going to be the end of this live stream. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Let me know what you thought of the games in the comments below if you are watching this after it was live. And yeah, thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.